It began as an unremarkable day in St. Paul, yet events soon unfolded that would forever change the course of a community and lead to a landmark investigation. Officers were dispatched to a storage facility in Woodbury after a report was received concerning a powerful, foul odor that permeated the air. The arrival of law enforcement marked the beginning of an inquiry that would reveal shocking evidence. Upon breaching the secured storage unit, officers encountered several large containers. Among these were a heavy-duty cooler, a large duffel bag, and a small carry-on suitcase, each enveloped in numerous layers of plastic. Crime scene technicians, adhering to rigorous forensic protocols, meticulously removed every item to ensure that each detail was preserved for subsequent analysis. The hours that followed were spent in painstaking examination, ultimately revealing that the remains contained within the sealed containers belonged to a missing woman whose life had been abruptly ended. Authorities later confirmed that the remains were those of Manijeh Starren, a 34-year-old resident known for her quiet resilience. As a single mother of three, she had faced numerous challenges, including ongoing struggles with mental health and substance dependency. Neighbors recalled her gentle smile and the warmth in her demeanor, even during times of hardship. Yet behind this unassuming exterior lay a life marred by constant fear and personal struggle, a life that would end in a manner that sent shockwaves throughout the community. The turning point in the investigation came on the morning of May 1, 2023, when Manijeh's father, overcome with distress, contacted the St. Paul Police Department. He reported that his daughter had not been in communication for several days, a stark deviation from her habitual regular check-ins with family and friends. Before we go any deeper into this complex case, if you're fascinated by stories like this, where mystery, truth, and unanswered questions collide, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest investigations into the world's most compelling true crime stories. Now let's get back to the case. In their last conversation on April 18th, her voice had carried an uncharacteristic tremor, and she had hinted at feeling threatened by an unidentified individual. This unusual change in tone, combined with her sudden silence, raised immediate alarm. Investigative efforts initially centered on her modest two-bedroom apartment on East 7th Street. Upon arrival, officers observed subtle yet significant signs of a disturbance. Bloodstains and minor indications of a struggle suggested that violence had occurred within the apartment. Surveillance footage from the building later provided additional clarity. In one recording, Manijeh was seen exiting her apartment in a visibly distressed state, shortly followed by the appearance of a man who would later be identified as her boyfriend, Joseph Jorgenson. Joseph Jorgenson, a 40-year-old resident of Maplewood, rapidly emerged as a person of interest. Records showed that he had visited Manijeh's apartment an unusually high number of times, 28 separate entries within a very short span, intensifying suspicions regarding his involvement in her disappearance. This pattern, corroborated by multiple surveillance recordings, painted a picture of a man whose presence was inextricably linked to the unfolding tragedy. Further investigation into his activities revealed troubling financial anomalies. Despite Manijeh being reported missing, her electronic benefits transfer (EBT) card continued to record transactions after her disappearance. On May 9, 2023, for instance, evidence showed that Jorgensen had used her card to withdraw cash from an ATM and to purchase cleaning supplies from local stores. The items, ranging from disinfectant wipes to cleaning buckets, were consistent with materials that might be used to sanitize or conceal evidence at a crime scene. As investigators delved deeper, they uncovered a disturbing digital trail left by Jorgensen. His mobile phone records revealed a series of alarming searches. Among these were inquiries related to missing person protocols, methods for removing GPS tracking from devices, and even techniques for accelerating decomposition through the use of chemicals such as lime. Each query, carefully documented by digital forensic experts, contributed to an emerging narrative of premeditation. A man who was systematically attempting to erase any evidence of his involvement. The digital evidence, when pieced together with the physical and financial data, provided a comprehensive timeline that increasingly pointed toward deliberate concealment. The investigation reached a critical juncture on June 26, 2023, when law enforcement executed a search warrant at Jorgensen's apartment. The raid was marked by intense and volatile confrontation. Upon the arrival of a SWAT team, Jorgensen reacted with violent defiance. He barricaded himself inside his bedroom and, in a dramatic escalation, ignited a fire that quickly spread through parts of the apartment. The ensuing struggle was perilous. Jorgensen resisted arrest with aggressive physical actions, including an attempt to seize a firearm. This chaotic encounter resulted in minor injuries to several officers and underscored the dangerous, unpredictable nature of the suspect's behavior. In the aftermath of the raid, forensic teams conducted a thorough examination of the apartment. In one area near a window, officers discovered a discarded screen that appeared to have been removed in haste. In another section, remnants of a shattered television and a damaged microwave provided clear signs that efforts had been made to alter or obscure evidence. Particularly disturbing was the state of a foam mattress pad in the bedroom. A significant portion was missing, and the remaining fabric was stained with blood. Hidden among Jorgensen's personal belongings, investigators also uncovered a set of padlock keys, a discovery that would later link him directly to another pivotal location, a storage facility that emerged as central to the case. At the storage facility in Woodbury, officers utilized the recovered keys to gain entry to a specific unit. Upon entering, they were immediately confronted by a potent, unmistakable odor of decay. The forensic team, moving systematically through the unit, discovered several large containers bearing a striking resemblance to those noted during the initial discovery. One container was identified as a heavy-duty cooler, another as a sizable duffel bag, and a third as a small carry-on suitcase. Each was sealed in thick layers of plastic to preserve its contents. Advanced imaging techniques, including high-resolution X-rays and CT scans, were employed by forensic specialists to analyze the remains found within these containers. The detailed examination, supported by dental records, tattoo comparisons, and other distinguishing markers, confirmed without doubt that the remains belonged to Manijeh Starren. This definitive discovery transformed the investigation, shifting its focus from a missing person inquiry to an extensive homicide investigation. In parallel with the physical evidence, digital forensic experts conducted an exhaustive review of Jorgensen's online activities. His mobile device, computer logs, and even social media activity were scrutinized. Digital analysts reconstructed his online timeline by examining metadata such as timestamps, geolocation information, and network logs. The patterns that emerged from these analyses were unmistakable, a series of searches and online behaviors that pointed toward a concerted effort to eliminate any digital traces. For example, on April 21st, 2023, his device recorded pings near a storage facility, a detail that soon proved critical. In the days that followed, a series of online queries, ranging from methods to clear browser cookies to inquiries about chemical agents capable of speeding up decomposition, revealed a man who was methodically attempting to obscure his involvement. Each digital trace was meticulously documented, creating an unbroken chain of evidence that linked his online behavior to the physical crime scene. The financial records added yet another layer of corroboration. Detailed transaction logs obtained from bank statements and electronic records showed that Manijeh's EBT card remained active even after her disappearance. On May 9, 2023, Jorgensen was recorded withdrawing cash from an ATM near a local speedway. Later that same day, he used the card to purchase a series of cleaning supplies at a nearby store, items that were later found to correspond with the cleaning materials recovered from the crime scene. Additional transactions on May 11th further reinforced this pattern. The precise timing and location of these transactions, when aligned with the physical and digital evidence, constructed a compelling timeline that strongly implicated Jorgensen in the deliberate attempt to sanitize and conceal evidence. Surveillance footage served as a linchpin in the investigation. High-definition recordings from multiple cameras within the apartment building and surrounding areas were scrutinized to construct a continuous narrative of events. In one critical sequence, the footage captured Manijeh leaving her apartment in a state of distress, her features marked by fear and urgency. Moments later, a man, later identified as Joseph Jorgenson, was seen entering the apartment. Subsequent recordings showed him repeatedly accessing the premises, often leaving with several bags. These visual records, when combined with the physical evidence retrieved from the storage facility, offered a stark visual corroboration of the suspect's involvement. The clarity and consistency of the surveillance data left little doubt, providing a visual timeline that paralleled the physical, digital, and financial evidence. In the courtroom, the meticulous nature of the investigation was laid out with a clarity that left no room for alternative interpretations. Forensic specialists testified in detail about the condition of the remains, describing how advanced imaging and autopsy procedures were used to confirm the identity of the victim. Digital forensic analysts explained how metadata and geolocation data from the suspect's devices were integrated into a coherent timeline that linked his actions to the crime. Financial experts presented transaction logs that precisely matched the timeline of events. Throughout the trial, prosecutors underscored that every piece of evidence, physical, digital, and financial, converged to form an incontrovertible narrative. Faced with this overwhelming body of evidence, Jorgenson eventually pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder, along with additional charges related to arson and obstruction of justice. His guilty plea confirmed not only his direct involvement, but also the systematic nature of his attempts to conceal the truth. Beyond the confines of the courtroom, the case had a profound and far-reaching impact on the community. Public response was characterized by shock, mourning, and a resolute demand for justice. Community meetings and public forums were convened, where local leaders and victim support organizations discussed the implications of the tragedy and the lessons learned from the investigation. These discussions focused on the need for enhanced forensic practices, improved domestic violence prevention programs, and greater interagency cooperation. The tragedy of Manijeh Starren spurred a collective resolve within the community to ensure that no crime, however well concealed, would remain unanswered. The academic community also took note of the case. Universities and research centers specializing in criminal justice and forensic science used the investigation as a case study, inviting experts to share their insights on the integration of digital, physical, and financial evidence. Seminars and workshops were organized to examine the innovative techniques employed during the investigation, and the case soon became a model for future investigations. Students and professionals alike studied the methodologies used, recognizing that the lessons gleaned from this case would inform future practices and potentially revolutionize aspects of forensic science. Media coverage of the case was extensive and continuous. Newspapers, television channels, and online platforms provided regular updates with expert commentators dissecting every aspect of the investigation. A recurring theme in the media was the exemplary coordination between different investigative agencies: local police, state forensic laboratories, digital forensic experts, and financial analysts, whose collaborative efforts had led to a breakthrough in the case. This public narrative helped restore confidence in the justice system and underscored the transformative power of integrated forensic technology in modern investigations. The digital investigation, in particular, sparked wider debates about the role of technology in law enforcement. As digital forensics became increasingly central to uncovering concealed crimes, questions arose regarding privacy and the ethical use of technology. Lawmakers and technology experts convened to discuss how to balance the need for effective digital evidence collection with the protection of individual rights. The discussions led to proposals for new guidelines and protocols designed to ensure that digital investigative methods remain both effective and respectful of privacy. The case of Manijeh Starren, with its extensive digital footprint, became a touchstone in these debates, highlighting both the strengths and potential pitfalls of relying on digital evidence in criminal investigations. Technological innovations in forensic science were showcased as a direct outcome of the investigation. Forensic technology companies demonstrated their latest advancements at trade shows and conferences, unveiling new software and hardware solutions that could capture even the most ephemeral digital traces. Experts discussed how emerging algorithms and machine learning techniques were revolutionizing the field of digital forensics, making it possible to recover and analyze data that was once considered lost. These technological breakthroughs promise to enhance the ability of investigators to build robust cases in the future, ensuring that even the most sophisticated attempts at evidence concealment could be countered with state-of-the-art tools. The investigative process itself was a masterclass in the integration of multiple disciplines. From the careful collection of physical evidence at the storage facility to the detailed analysis of digital data and financial records, every element of the case was scrutinized with an unwavering commitment to objectivity and precision. The thorough documentatio. Documentation of each step, recording everything from the initial discovery to the final courtroom proceedings, ensured that no detail was overlooked. This comprehensive approach not only strengthened the case against Jorgensen, but also set a new standard for future investigations, demonstrating that the confluence of advanced forensic science and traditional investigative methods can yield results that are both compelling and conclusive. For law enforcement agencies, the case served as a powerful impetus to invest in further training and technological upgrades. Recognizing that even minor delays or oversights in evidence collection could jeopardize an entire investigation, departments across the region began to adopt real-time monitoring systems and rapid response protocols. Training programs were updated to emphasize the critical importance of swift action, meticulous documentation, and cross-disciplinary collaboration. The lessons learned from the investigation into Manijeh Starren's case were disseminated widely, ensuring that future cases could benefit from the refined methodologies that had been honed during this prolonged and painstaking inquiry. The impact of the investigation was felt long after the courtroom proceedings concluded. The case not only provided a measure of closure for a grieving family, but also served as a catalyst for systemic change within the criminal justice system. Enhanced forensic protocols, improved digital investigative tools, and new interagency collaboration frameworks were implemented as a direct result of the insights gained from the investigation. These changes were designed to prevent similar tragedies in the future and to ensure that every effort was made to uncover the truth, no matter how deeply it was concealed. In reflection, the investigation into the disappearance and murder of Manijeh Starren stands as a landmark achievement in modern forensic science. It encapsulates the evolution of investigative techniques in an era where traditional methods must coexist with rapidly advancing digital technologies. The case demonstrated that no matter how adept a criminal may be at concealing evidence, the combined efforts of dedicated investigators, armed with cutting-edge technology and a commitment to the truth, can ultimately bring hidden crimes to light. This narrative, built on a foundation of verifiable facts and methodical inquiry, serves as an enduring reminder of the power of modern forensic investigations. The legacy of this case is multifaceted. For forensic scientists, it represents a breakthrough in the application of advanced imaging and digital analysis techniques. For law enforcement, it highlights the necessity of integrated, multidisciplinary approaches to solving complex crimes. And for the community, it stands as a testament to the unwavering pursuit of justice. A reminder that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, there is hope that truth will prevail. Today, as law enforcement agencies continue to refine their techniques and invest in new technologies, the lessons from the Manijeh Starren case remain more relevant than ever. They inform ongoing discussions about forensic best practices, the ethical use of digital evidence, and the importance of swift, coordinated action in the face of crime. The investigation, with its detailed and comprehensive approach, has become a benchmark for future cases, ensuring that the methods and strategies developed during this inquiry will benefit countless investigations to come. In the final analysis, the story of Manijeh Starren is not merely one of tragedy and loss, but also one of resilience, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of justice. It is a narrative that underscores the crucial role of forensic science in modern society, a role that continues to evolve as new challenges emerge in the digital age. The meticulous work of the investigative teams, the clarity of the digital and financial records, and the unwavering dedication of law enforcement have together forged a path toward truth that no amount of concealment could obscure. And that concludes our deep dive into this fascinating case. What are your thoughts? Do you think justice was served, or does the mystery run deeper than we realize? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next investigation into the world's most compelling stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and stay safe.